Mm-hmm.
So, welcome to session 10 of season 2. This is the season finale of Blackcoats season 2. So, change is a coming as we are about to have the inauguration of why are we doing 40k music on it? You just.
Hey, I was just
But yeah, we're doing the inauguration of Autumn as the mayor of New Corinth. He now has no competition, so even though he's under investigation by certain parties, he will be inaugurated as mayor within this session. I just didn't get how Mechanicus goes with the theme, but that's fine. We can whatever helps you concentrate. So we have had an interesting last session. We had Dennis is now a ticking time bomb, getting ready to explode, or at least quietly seep out a lot of things that nobody wants to breathe in. And we have discussed using him as a bomb, and sending him to Duskfall, but realised that would only be killing thousands of other innocent people rather than. And
No, I think it was because the trip would be too long,
Yep.
so I wouldn't make it in time.
No.
Not the innocent people, but
and you'd be a random ghost ship that could be floating around.
So, last time we had Havelock, who sadly passed away at the time, and we had the head, Lucius, who is the head of House Nocturne, revealed as the unsurprising father of Sangern, Papa Vampire, over there. And also, he took one hell of a bit of damage in that final battle. I think he's still alive, if I remember correctly.
He was still alive, and Swan had promised medical care to meet us at our hideaway. And that's where we left it. Is Swan showed up far too late, and Sangern was gruff.
I think that would be a good place to start the session. Is in the hideout of you guys.
Would go to the hideout, so that's a bit skippy. So he has different plans.
Okay, so you're not going to be at the hideout. Swan had basically instructed you guys to take Lucius to the hideout, wherever it is. And he knows where it is, kind of. Like, he knows around the area, so you're assuming that the vigilance, there's not really much getting away from them, especially not when you're high-profile actors as you are in the city right now. So, do you take... So this is Filberto and Sangun. You recognise that Dennis is wandering off on the way back to the hideout. Do you guys call back to him to get him to come with you, or do you guys let him go?
I'm not letting him out my sight.
Okay. Well...
Sangern has other things on his mind, so he just keeps going.
Well, Filberto said to come with me.
Yeah.
Okay, so Filberto, do you want to go with Dennis, or...?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. So you're going to tell Sangun what you're doing? Because Sangun right now, he looks like he's in a bit of a world of his own as he's trudging along.
Yeah, I'll tell Sangun that I'm keeping an eye on Dennis. I don't know what Dennis is doing.
Sangern will kind of nod absent-mindedly as he's literally like, he is moving, at speed.
Mm-hmm.
Sangern is at a march right now. I imagine you guys have had to, with your little legs, have had to be at like a half jog to keep up with him. So this is probably comforting for you. Sangern is storming off. Yeah.
So, Filberto, are you taking anything to take... Let's just say things with Dennis don't go very well. Are you bringing anything with you to, bring the situation to a more pleasing conclusion, shall we say? Or are you...
What? Disinfectant?
More like anything to subdue somebody, not kill him, because obviously... Yeah.
I'll load up on tranquilizers.
Okay.
Preferably, like elephant tranquilizers, the really strong stuff.
The really strong stuff, okay. Let me just make a note of that. As you're going, you kind of need to make this tranquilizer on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you can do it through sleight of hand, because you're that skilled, but I'm still going to want you to roll some intelligence checks or mind checks for me.
Some alchemy, I guess.
Alchemy, savant, the whole 9 yards.
Alright. So 9 plus the 2 plus the 2. That'd be...
Okay.
So that's a lot of dice. The number goes up every time I look.
Yeah, well, that one is because I'm stacking intelligent, the mind bonus, the alchemy, the savant.
So within a couple of seconds, you've got 3 reagents in your hand, and you put them in a single bottle, and you just like fizz them up together. And then look, you as you're walking beneath like an electric lamp, you just like hold it up, and you're looking at it like,
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, yeah, that'll do. And you pop it and put it back in your coat, and you put it in you like attach it to a syringe. This goes into anything that is mildly mortal, you know, or anyone at this point. You'd be very surprised if they were able to shrug this off and keep going. They're going to be off to the land of dreams. Within you think that if you gave Sangan this, it would knock him out essentially.
Yeah.
So that's just a gauge of how powerful it is. So you hop along with Dennis, and Dennis, how are you feeling at the moment? Because I'm guessing like you're like a street away at this point, you know. So Filberto's part of the vigilance, you know. He's not gonna lose you, you know. But like, so that's why he's hung back a little bit. But you know, where are you off?
I would have a feeling that he's probably being watched because it's a feeling he got used to at this point. It's not like he would mess Filberto. I think. Well, so now he's looking for Rake, so the typical shtick of just trying to talk to rats and going to the place he last saw him.
Okay, so you're going to Rake? Is that where you're going? Okay.
Yeah.
So, where was the last place you saw him?
It was, I think, a bar where he was throwing cut-off hands into the ocean.
So, you head back there, and we'll just say you're there, and Filberto, you're just hanging back, I'm guessing? You're just like, you know, watching when he does. Are you loading? You have 2 of those little syringes. Are you loading one of them into the rifle?
Yeah, I'll load one in, and I'll save one.
Just in case he makes a break for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, right, okay. So, we have... Dennis, when you're there, it's raining, and people are getting ready for the inauguration, which is going on tomorrow. It's pretty quick, because there seems to be a big hoo-ha from the capital. You guys, especially you, Filberto, you've heard from a few informants you've been walking around that there seems to be a massive fleet in the Black Glass Sea heading towards New Corinth and the Dominion. Duskfall, flying Duskfall colours. They're not invading, they're just like heading around, right? Yes, it's only been like an hour or so since Havelock died. So...
Warships, or...?
They look like warships, yes. Yes, it looks like warships. Well, it does, Sangern, unless this was going on before you even started.
Yeah.
Plans may have been in motion for a long time about things like this.
Yeah,
So,
maybe it started earlier, but the news just got here.
Yes. So, we've been seeing tugboats and other ships coming back into port and bringing news with them. Like, they were told to stop fishing immediately and stop whaling immediately and get back to port. If they don't want to be caught in whatever crossfire is coming. And no one quite knows what's going on. News from the capital apparently is to remain calm, and we don't know what's going on, so don't assume anything, essentially. The Blackcoats at this stage, you have not been able to speak to anyone just yet, but that's what you've been hearing on the street. Sangern, you haven't been hearing any of this because you're in a world of your own, essentially. You're just going straight for the hideout, you're getting Dad there, and you're getting him fixed up, and then you're getting some fucking answers from him, is what you're...
From him and from Swan.
And from Swan, too. Yeah. Tell you what, Dennis will come back to you in a minute. Let's just jump over to Swan. So we'll end that scene with you heading towards the docks and looking around for some rats, and you lock eyes with one. And also, we see Filberto there loading his rifle and just like sighting down the sight and looking at what the hell's going on from like a high vantage point, just to check out what you're doing. Then the scene switches over to Sangern, who is finally in the in the safe house, and the Blackcoats who are with you, they put Lucius down on a gurney and wheel him into a side room, which looks like it's near Filberto's lab, where they can get like disinfectants and things like that, and they start working on him. But he's losing a lot of blood, and Swan looks kind of bashful, if he can look bashful, but you can almost see his mustache twitching as he's he's folding his arms, but like his fingers and his right hand are like just tapping his mouth, sort of a thing, and he looks pretty concerned.
Is there any just random chamber vigilance people here? Because
No, he's the only one who's here. The Blackcoats who are with you, they're from the chamber terminus. So these are people who know their way around of a dying human body, to put it mildly.
So he's gonna come up to Swan, like, and none of the deference that he's shown him up to this point, and just kind of stand over him and say, "Let's hear it."
He looks at you and says, "What would you like me to say? And what have you been told already?"
Sangren's going to basically shove the last will and testament into it, kind of like push it up against his chest.
He glances at it for like a millisecond, and then looks straight back up at you and goes, "Ah, one of those conversations. You have to understand, my boy. My wife would not allow me to adopt a child, so I hope you don't blame me for any of your difficulties when you were younger."
Difficulties don't matter. I have no problem with my upbringing as a Blackcoat. I'm doing good work, and I'm helping.
Good. So he nods and says,
But when Sangren says that, it's not in a. This isn't like not in like a trying to relieve him of blame. This is Sangren showing that he's more pissed about. He's like getting more and more pissed. Feels like he's equivocating.
He says, "Well, you may as well know it all. Do you remember the place I sent you to deal with a friend of mine in a cabin out in the woods?"
Forget.
Did you perhaps see any pictures of me in there?
We did, before we had to go take care of his little experiment.
He nods and says, "Do you not recognize the men on the table from any of those pictures?"
Out of character, I don't remember seeing him in that. The only picture I remember Sangren having seen of him. Well, actually, I don't remember Sangren ever having seen a picture of Lucius before this, because there was a picture.
There was a picture of a man who looked kind of like. If you go back and look at that session, it does look kind of like him. I didn't put it man for man because I didn't want it to be so obvious, but like it looks kind of like him with his arm around.
Was Sangren in there during then?
I don't know if you were. I need to go back and check that. I don't know if you were. We can say that you were if you want, or we can say that you weren't. Because it's one of those things where you could just be in the room, or.
Well, if he had seen the other pictures,
you would have seen the evidence. You're a Blackcoat, so you would have seen what was going on.
And Sangren's gonna kind of like just take a moment, think back, and say, "So may have."
Let me just see what Berto's put here. Yeah, that it's kind of like that. Yeah, that was the. So he says, so how do I put this?
How about you put it plainly for once?
He nods and says, "Do you have anything to drink?"
I imagine Sangren has a bottle stashed somewhere.
Yeah, he's going to take whatever you got. The strongest thing you have, he'll take.
He'll probably grab a bottle for himself.
He says,
just kind of sitting down for the first time since
this is cool. Yeah. So he sits in like a little chair, and you sit like on a chest or something, just like just like, let me lay it on me, sort of a thing. He says,
Yeah, and Sangren's gonna start, because he needs something to distract himself. He's gonna start cleaning off his weapons after this last fight.
okay. So he says, certain people, when they give birth to a child of devil blood, vampiric blood, do not survive the process very well. Your mother was one of those people. And we kept her in the woods. When you came to me and you told me that such a person had expired, I was very grief-stricken, to say the least, and I hope it was not you who made the final, that is what brought Mr. Lucius back to me here in New Corinth, was news of his wife's death. We couldn't keep her anywhere near the city, and we didn't want to kill her. We hoped that she could be saved, but it turns out possession isn't something that you can really dial back, so to speak.
Whatever that was in the woods, it wasn't who it was before.
No.
That doesn't matter.
No, I just want you to have all the information. I think you've earned that right. But, this is why I've been so hard on you. I'm very sorry. But the more noise you bring to yourself, the more you put my promise to your father in jeopardy. And I am not someone who breaks my promises. Now, we have that out of the way. Me and your father are old friends. Very old friends. He was very influential in the early parts of my career. And I was very influential in him meeting your mother, who was also a woman of the black cloth, so to speak. And he just, taps his own coat.
Give Sangren a fucking pause. This is the first, the mother thing was really upsetting, but he kind of powered through that. But hearing that she was a Blackcoat, he just kind of stops.
Yeah, so he says, I've tried to keep you from harm's way, but you seem to have some of your father in you, and that you keep putting yourself in harm's way in the way of others, and your friends do not do a good job of keeping you away from the limelight. And he just says, we now know that it is Autumn who is bringing Duskfall here. I don't know how or
No
why.
Shit.
But he needs to be removed. As a cancer needs to be exorcised from the human body. We need...
Sangren's gonna kind of glance back towards Lucius.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, when do we go? And kind of, starts putting. He's probably finished cleaning the gunblade at this point, and holsters it.
He nods and says, "When you're geared up and ready, we can go whenever."
I imagine, Sangren, since they've been working with Tobias, has a few extra rounds for the gunblade.
Yeah.
So he's gonna reload it, throw on a bandolier, and he's just loading up. He's done being subtle.
Mm-hmm. So he nods and stands up with his cane, and he says, "I will have the best physicians here for your father, but well, he just, you can see he sort of looks like he's actually upset, and he just nods and then to you and then just walks out the room, hobbling a little as he goes. So we'll cut back to the other scene. Dennis, you've followed a certain rat who's been running around you for like 30 seconds, and eventually you come to what looks like a broken down old pub. Not unlike the one that you actually have your hideout in, and the rat dives inside. Are you going to head in there, or are you going to hang around outside?
I might take a whiff first to make sure it's not another ambush, and then I'd head in.
Go ahead and do your stoking of the blood.
Mind and robot. Let me quickly check my stats because I think I did it not enough last time. So intelligent, mind 6 and devil blood 3, so 9. 9d6.
Sweet.
Okay.
You're fine. You're fine.
Not a thing. Okay.
Yeah, your fours are okay for this. So yeah, you don't smell anything untoward. You kind of do smell rat though, like quite strongly.
Well, that's a good sign for who I'm looking for.
Yeah. So you're gonna duck inside.
Yeah.
So you have to.
I know Filberto's following me, so I might like wave towards him to like stop lurking and just come.
Okay. Filberto, you're gonna just jog over.
Yeah, well.
Alberto hasn't been present for any of the actual rat meetings, has he?
No.
Yeah, it's his first time.
Aww.
So like
I'm just gonna go up to Dennis and say, "What are you doing with that weird shit with the rats?"
Well, you did meet Reek in the Iceways. He's still around.
I met Rake, but I'm just like, I still wouldn't understand the connection.
Well, you did see how he looks, right? Like,
yes.
This is his like cousins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the rats. They understand everything you say.
Oh, I apologize.
All of them. Every single one.
I
They're like
apologize.
I
people.
imagine he's being really sarcastic.
No, well, I'm just gonna call bullshit. I'm just gonna sit here and go, yeah, I'm sorry, my little cute friends.
Is there a rat that's just kind of on its hind legs, hands on its hips, just shaking its head?
No, they've all gone inside. There's not many.
I just want a sassy rat.
You just want the pouting. You just want a pouting rat.
To be fair, you have a sassy rat. It's called Rake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's more of an edgy rat, to be honest.
So you head inside, and you have to remove like the door because it's off its hinges. As you do, there is a really nice sense of warmth in here. It's like quite a nice little area. Quite dark, but there is there is a fire in the middle of the room, and over it is Rake, and he's perched there on a stool, just like turning over. He's like mixing a broth, and like picking off bits of meat and just throwing them into the broth. And he sniffs one bit of it and goes, "Oof, oh no," throws it away, gets rotten, and he does it, throws some more in. And the rats, there are about 6 or 7 of them, and they're all like standing almost to attention nearby on a bench. A few of them are gnawing on a bit of cheese or whatever, like bit of bread in one hand. So it's not like they got it in both hands like they normally do. It's like one of them's like got it in one hand, like just eating it like that. And he looks up from the fire from underneath his hood and sort of says, "I hear you 3 have been quite busy past couple of days."
That's an understatement, to say the least.
How is our rather large taciturn friend?
Taciturn?
Means quiet.
He's
Very depressed.
Having
Anyway.
some family issues, shall we say?
Yeah, that's why he's not around. Has to interrogate his dad. He's a prince of something. Don't remember what, but knowing you probably knew. There's a bigger fish to fry. Do you remember the necromancer guy and his vampire wife all the way back north?
How could I forget?
Yeah. turns out the family stuff also stretches here. The vampire wife lady didn't actually die. She's the weird vampire spirit we told you about last time. And Sangren's aunt or something like that, and she wants to take away his prince title. Things get even worse. So the guy we killed, he had a brother called David or something on D, who was a pirate captain, but like an important one. And the problem with the pirate captain guy is he put a bioweapon inside me, which will explode in 2 days from now or so, and kill every living being in the city.
At that bit of news, one of the rats looks at Rake with that exact first Filberto, the rat's picture, just like that. What are you doing with these people? They're just crazy. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
He just looks at you like, right, carry on.
Yes, so there is two suspicious things to do. So the brother of the David guy, he wants me to kill the two mayoral candidates. One problem luckily solved itself, but the other is still out. And the guy has the antidote, which will stop the whole bioweapon explosion thing. It would be nice if you could have your rat friends try to find him, because I mean, that plague is pretty nasty, it might even get them. And on the meanwhile, we could go murder the mayor guy, if you don't mind.
So you want my blokes to find this, what's his name?
Darius O'Mal, I think it was.
Alright. He nods and says, Daedalus, right.
Daedalus.
With you.
Yeah. Do you know him?
By reputation. He just nods and goes, alright, I can do that for you. Okay, so he just looks at the rats on the table and goes, he's in a warehouse on 17th Street.
If we found him, maybe we should just already go there.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, how did you already know that?
Well, if you haven't noticed, this city is sort of built on rats, my friend, so anything they know.
I told you they're like people.
Yeah, I know. I was just a bit astounded. It was just like you could recall.
Just be very, very careful. That warehouse is attached to, how do I put this, a crossroads, so to speak, for my people. One of our main trading places is beneath there, so...
So don't blow it up.
Yeah.
Well, come help then, because that was the first idea, to just blow it all up to hell and back.
He pats the sword like next to him and says, that wouldn't be advisable.
Would there be anyone interested in taking Daedalus O'Mal down?
He looks to one of the rats again and sort of like wiggles his nose, and they like wiggle their nose back and like sort of like scratch behind their ears, and he says, maybe. Depends what you're paying.
We're kinda broke right now. Maybe let's just... What's an alternative to explosions? Can you make like a guess that if we release it on the roof, everybody will die?
Couldn't we offer them control of Daedalus O'Mal's operation?
Yeah, but you know, we're kind of strapped on time.
Well, yeah.
And we need to also get the... We also need to get the antidote for it getting destroyed, like...
That's true.
Anyway, can you cook up something on the way? Like, I don't know. You put it on the roof, it flows down, everybody dies.
I'm sure there's some potentially noxious gases we could make.
Wonderful. And the rats can maybe move out of the way for a bit, and even if it flows all the way down there, it should clear after a few days, so the market will be fine.
Rake nods and says, I'll ask. That's
wonderful.
All I can promise
we'll get going then.
He just nods and says, all right, and he goes back to his stew and starts throwing stuff in. So
I've got a better idea. We put something that's non-lethal and won't be disruptive, but would be very, very smelly. Something really strong, like hydrogen peroxide. It wouldn't kill you directly. It just smell, or hydrogen sulfide even. It would just smell really, really horrible and be almost a very strong irritant to humans, and they'd spend all their time.
So you want to alert them to our position without knocking any of them out?
I
Like at
basically
least
want
have
to.
it be a sleep gas or something.
Okay, I was going to go for a stink bomb because that would, or something like that, something that would make them cough, and preferably something that's more on the show. So more like a cloud of gas or something like that, rather than necessarily something that knocks them out.
So okay. What we'll do, we'll take you back to the hideout so you can do your mixing and stuff, and then we will see what the plan is and what what you want to make. You want all your toys to make something that specific.
Yeah. Could Dennis in the meanwhile go to the mayoral candidate guy to pick up his pay from the last job?
Wait, so you're gonna go to Autumn and get your pay?
Yeah, I mean, we did have a job with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's going there?
I guess you can go. Well, it's a case of
you
whether
have
I
to
should
mix
let.
you have to mix the chemicals.
Yeah, it's a case of I'm just going to sit there and go. Don't. Well, I would recommend you find the cure. He might be more involved with this Duskfall situation than we would like.
So with Daedalus lies the cure, and with Autumn lies your pay.
Yeah.
So it depends which one you want to go for first.
I'd say we go for this cure.
I
say
mean,
Autumn might be useful.
I was planning to go while Fulberto was mixing the concoction.
All right, fine. I guess you're just going to go, and I'm just going to be sat there mixing.
Okay. So, you head home to mix. When you get there, Sangern is Swan is no longer there, but Lucius is recovering. He is, sitting back and, unconscious, but still, And Sangern is there, just sitting on his haunches on a barrel, just like near the end of that bottle he was having with Swan now. You get to say stuff to him if you want.
Sangren's just waiting for a word from Swan so he can head out.
Okay. So, Forberto, you are there now. You can do whatever you want. Do you want to talk to Sangern, or do you want to do anything else?
Sure, I'll say to him. So, how's your father?
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Sangren just kind of, has just been kind of staring at his hands and drinking from this bottle. Just kind of looks back, looks at you, kind of surprised, didn't notice you coming in. Then looks at Lucius and just says, "Your guess is as good as mine." And then goes back to the bottle.
Would I be able to medicine him, or at least look at his injuries? Just a cursory inspection. I'm not touching him or handling him.
Yeah, you can. Do a perception check, but use Savant with it as well because you're kind of diagnosing somebody.
My high perception.
Okay.
That is 2 successes. Or no.
So...
Yeah, 2.
So, that is enough.
Mm-hmm.
He has sustained some serious injuries here. He should pull through, but any more damage in combat or otherwise, he is not going to make it.
Fair enough.
He's had a transfusion. He's had, they probably let him drink from somebody, So he's on the mend. But anything in the next couple of days where he is, fighting or getting hurt, he's going to drop and probably not get back up again.
So he's grievously wounded but stable.
Yes, for now.
Gotcha.
So he was circling the drain. Now he's not quite circling the drain.
Fair enough.
But don't let him get into combat or anything like that, or
He's sitting on the edge of the drain.
Yeah. I'm gonna say to Swan, how many people know about this place?
Swan's left.
Oh, it's Swan. I'm gonna say to Sango, do you know how many people know about this place?
So outside of the Blackcoats, shouldn't be anyone, but you never know.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure. Well, evidently, I'm sure you want to keep your family safe.
Sangren kind of looks towards Lucius and kind of rolls his eyes, and just keeps drinking.
Hmm. Well, what's that you got there? What drink you got there, son?
He just kind of, like kind of flat shows you the label on the bottle and then keeps drinking. Like Sangren, you've seen Sangren drink enough that this isn't going to get him drunk. This isn't going to, stop him from being able to do his thing. It's just more
of pain relief.
This is more, yeah. This is just him distracting himself.
Gotcha. So Dennis, I'm just going to point out that Dennis is going to see our friend Autumn.
Sangren kind of looks up and like, does he know where Autumn is?
I assume he's still in the penthouse. Something about collecting his pay.
Sangren kind of
our
just
original
rubs his
job.
forehead.
Remember that?
Sangren kind of rubs his head. He's going to get himself killed.
You think?
On that note, let's cross over to Dennis.
I took it myself killed.
So, Dennis, you are heading to your little urchins can point you in the direction pretty quickly of where one of the most reputable people in the city is. He is at the Sovereign, which is essentially the main temple / municipal building. He's staying there for the night before his inauguration tomorrow in the afternoon. The security there is heavy. And by heavy, I mean on a scale of 1 to 5, this will be a 6. There are people there probably fanatically loyal to him, nearer to him. But everybody else is like normal redcoats and probably paid off. These guys seem pretty extra loyal when you're observing them. They don't seem to be leaving their posts or going anywhere else.
I am supposed to be allowed to go in there to collect my pay from him.
Unless things have changed. Yep, Yep. Are you gonna just walk? How are you dressed?
Blackcoat uniform. Okay. Because that's what I was hired for.
Okay. As. So you just stride straight up and walk straight in.
I mean, I have my specific mask. I would. Yeah. We were as Blackcoats there. I remember we wore Blackcoat uniforms during the venue.
No. When we met him, we were wearing the upper caste clothes. We were wearing nicer clothing, not Blackcoat uniforms.
Okay, so I guess I'd. The thing is, Dennis is pretty sure he would be able to know because.
Surely, maybe it's just best for you to go up.
Wait a question: do we have our receipt that he hired us for the job?
The what? Sorry.
What?
Do we have a receipt, like a contract for being hired?
No, it was all verbal.
So yeah, in that case, he would go in the Blackcoat uniform because it's a bigger chance to get in.
Okay, so we can just say that you've got your Blackcoat uniform. That's not a big issue. You can. Just...
he was still wearing it from the Havelock meeting.
So you go to stride in. You notice that the guards want to stop you, that the redcoats want to stop you, but
I would let them. I would let them.
Their innate training. No, they're not moving towards you, but they look like they're looking at each other like, oh my god, we're not supposed to let him in or anyone in. Like we're supposed to and they kind of move to stop you, but they're also like, that's a fucking Blackcoat, and if we touch this guy, he's just gonna murder us. So I
would actually talk to them because that seems like the way to get them less antagonistic.
Okay, so you just call out to them.
Yeah, I would go up to them and see. It's okay. You can ask what I'm here for.
Uh, uh, do you want to get out the rain, sir? Do you want to stand up under here with us? Or
No, I was hired for a job by the big guy over there. You know, the mayoral candidate, just here to collect my pay.
he hired you?
Don't you remember the venue where the vampires attacked last week?
Yeah.
Does this Was any one of you there?
Well, most of us who were there were, dead.
Well, if any of you alive are here, they can confirm that I was there trying to protect him with this. I imagine my mask would seem pretty characteristic with the frog on it.
Okay. He says, well, "Listen, I'm going to send you through to the next checkpoint. All right. Just take it up with them, and they'll be able to set you right."
Fair enough. I'll move along then.
So he just waves you through. You step into what can only be described as a very large Romanesque municipal building, and in here you have, it looks like an old school bank. So you got these mahogany desks and all beautiful varnished tables and things like that, all with gas lights on them. You have different rooms for appointments and things like that. And then you've got a big, massive staircase at the back of the hall, like a big marble staircase, which opens outwards. And it goes up to the second floor, and then there's a big one behind that goes up to the third floor. You probably think you want to go onto the third floor. There are guards protecting all parts of the staircase, and there aren't any other ways up from what you can see. Because fire code isn't really a big thing in the Dominion. So, I'm guessing you head to the first staircase. You are stopped by, these guys are not redcoats. The guys on the floor are redcoats. These guys are dressed in what looks like very dark brown business suits. And they don't look, they got a trench coat and you can tell that they're armed underneath. And they look at you like, they stop you and they say, "Sorry, sir, not even part of the Blackcoat order can go to the mayor. So close to inauguration. Is there anything I can do for you?"
Well, call him here then.
Now this is a flagrant breach of somebody wearing Blackcoat colours. They shouldn't have got anywhere near your way. In fact, you're doing them a courtesy just by stopping. So
okay. Oh, if that's the case, then I'll be. Does the order come from the king?
how do you mean? The order is directly beholden to the king. Yes.
Did the order come directly from the king?
Oh.
Because that's the only people.
Oh, to stop him. Yeah.
The
Okay.
only man who directs a Blackcoat what to do.
Okay. So they look at each other, and they one of them says, "Just wait here," and runs up the stairs. And it takes a few minutes. Are you gonna wait for him to come back, or are you gonna just?
I'm gonna ask the other guy what their names are.
Okay. He says, I'm Thomas, sir. I'm just here to guard the stairs, and we're told."
Your name?
I don't know him. I've just met him today, sir.
Your surname.
Oh, that Thomas is my surname.
Okay. The other guy, what is he called?
Well, I've just met him. This is our first shift together, sir. So I don't know what his name is.
Fair enough. Dennis would pretend to write something down.
Okay. So this guy comes back and says, "You can come in, sir. No problem." And he beckons you in, smiling. "You can come in, sir. No problem."
What's your name?
My name's Jeffrey, sir.
Okay. Dennis would again pretend to write something down. And then would proceed back to meet with the future mayor.
Okay. So as you walk up the stairs, you notice that the two guys who are on the stairs are now following you up the stairs. And as you pass the second set of stairs, they don't stop you. But those two guys also start following you, so you have 4 guys now behind you. At the top of the stairs, you see 3 more of these men, and they follow you, and they take you to what looks like an elevator and a side door. And they open it for you, they open the shutters for you. You know? And there are 2 more inside the elevator, they all get in with you. So they all pack you in, and
Pretty stuffy in there.
it is pretty stuffy, yeah. And they close the shutters and they go up. Eventually, the shutters come. It takes about 5 minutes for it to go up there, so you've gone up a long way. You can only assume you're in the main bell tower, which is like the main residence of the mayor. And they open the shutter door, and then open the doors quite wide. And inside, they step aside. You know, they're like to the side, and you're pushed back by what you can only feel is a very, very visceral magical force. Very devil-blooded in its origin.
Can I try using my devil blood to guess what it is?
You can. It's gonna. If you do that, it's gonna force you back against the wall of the lift.
Sure.
Okay. Because you're giving up your chance to push back against it essentially. So go for it. So just roll. I'll tell you what. Roll a just to activate your vampiric powers. Just roll what you normally roll to do that.
Why does the roll never work first time?
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3 successes, I guess.
Okay, so this is vampiric in nature, but it's way, way beyond what you're used to. When you
is it the vampire lady? Considering I felt her presence back in that cold place.
It is. When you look at the source of this, wherever it's coming from, there seems to be a black orb on the desk of what can only be Autumn, and it is reaching out and pushing you back against this thing. It's trying to get into your mind, trying to force its way into your mind to try and see who you are, what you want, why you were in the desert in the first place all those months ago, what the hell's going on.
Can I resist it?
Yep.
Okay.
Roll again.
Do I know?
Okay.
Okay, that's a lot of successes for once.
It is.
That's a lot of dice.
How many did you get? 1, 2, 3. Is that 4, 5, 6?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So,
no contest.
So, she just swats aside your attempts to guard your mind, and she in a millisecond knows basically everything down to your blood type and how big your little toe is, essentially, and immediately beckons you to walk forwards into the room. I'm not going to let you roll against this because that success was too much for you to sort of resist. So you walk into the room. And when you look at Felix Autumn, he doesn't look very happy. He looks afraid. He looks quite afraid.
Of me or of the lady?
Of the orb. And of the two very large vampires standing either side of him. All of them seem armed, and all of them are wearing black, which is a big affront to you, because these guys are not Blackcoats. And all of them have a very strong whiff of duskfall about them. In the room also is somebody who is standing behind you and then put a blade to your throat. And he says, I've dealt with this one before. We should probably dispose of him.
Yeah. Do you really think I didn't come here with without a dead man's switch?
They stop. Would you like to roll to see if you recognise this voice, or would you like to just carry on? Well, it's up to you.
Sure. What would it be?
That would be perception.
So just mind.
Yep. All right. Do you want to try and turn your head to see who this is? You're kind of getting a whiff of who this guy is.
Is it a man or a woman?
It's a man. Definitely a man. Definitely a man. You know you've heard this voice before.
Sure, I try to turn my head.
Okay. So the orbs kind of like almost laughs and knows what you're doing. So she turns you around just to see, and you hear the words. He says, "See what people will do for just a little taste of the power that Duskfall possesses. When we rule New Corinth, your people will understand. Even in my own homeland, they shun me as a troublemaker. But they will see. They will see." And you look into the face of Arthak, who is sort of like he doesn't look like he's possessed at all. Like he looks like he's just of a clear mind. And he just says, "Sorry, son."
I guess I'm not walking out of this one alive.
You hear Autumn behind you saying, "Dennis, kill them, Dennis."
Autumn, don't be silly. I couldn't take Artek on alone. At least not with a blade to my neck. So I do think that this is more of a time for negotiating.
He says, yes, that's precisely what we should do. And he looks towards the orb, and the orb like sort of fizzles a little bit, and kind of releases you. But you're getting a real sense. You got a connection to this thing now. You're getting a real sense that she's kind of curious what you're gonna do, like an ant. Like she just sees an ant and goes, "Oh, I wonder what it'll do if I just let it go. See what it does." So like, that's what she's doing.
You have read my mind, right? You know that there's a bioweapon on the loose, right? That will destroy the whole city and quite a bit of the surrounding area. Or did you not get that far?
Now you're seeing a look of realization in a lot of people's faces, and the orb sort of flutters a little bit. It's almost like that's what it saw when you came in, and that's why you're not already dead.
So let's say nicely that I care more about not being... Because you see, there's a dilemma here, from what I understand. The mayor guy, you need him for your evil plan to join the Duskfall Empire. But the other problem is that if I don't deliver this guy's head to a pirate captain, your husband's brother, then he's gonna let loose the bioweapon. So you're gonna be ruling just a set of ruins. That's not gonna be a big flex on the Duskfall Empire, from what I understand. So I see two options. Either we kill the guy and get a new one, or you would help me get the way to disarm the bioweapon from the other guy. From the brother of your husband.
What's to stop me from putting you in a box and throwing you into the sea?
Oh, we thought about that. The virus is a bit too strong, it will still leak out. We thought about burying me in cement or even shipping me off to Dustfall. It probably wouldn't work, at least not according to Filbert. Do you remember the guy? That's the guy who did all the alchemy, killed your husband. He's really good at that stuff, and according to him,
Yes.
it wouldn't probably work out. And killing me won't work either because I will revive.
I have a counter proposal.
Sure.
And I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. So. She says, "I will get you the antidote if you deliver the men who killed my Clint to me.
So deliver them here.
I think you know what I mean. Rather than the building, I mean...
Oh, you want me to kill them personally? I thought you'd want the satisfaction to do it yourself.
I do. I need you to bring them to the inauguration tomorrow, and then bring them to me. When they are here, you will fight at my side, we will kill them, and then I will present you with the antidote. I have means of getting the antidote from this Daedalus that I found in your head. I know where he is. I know what he wants.
The problem is I know where he is as well.
Who stands a better chance of getting this antidote, you? Or me?
Dennis will just sit there pondering for a bit, which might seem odd to her that he's just pondering. Stuff what he said. Okay, let's say we have a deal.
She nods and says, one more thing. You feel a burning, searing pain on your cheek and on your head. Have you ever seen The Witcher expansion, Hearts of Stone?
Yeah.
Where, yeah, it's kind of like that. So it's like burned into your face, but then it disappears. She says, now I can see you, and I can hear you. Let him go. Arthak, let him go.
Why were we not this omnipotent when we blew you up with a grenade?
You get a sense that she's almost like... She thinks that's the most stupid thing she's ever heard in her entire life. Like, she just like... You know, and you get a real sense of... She doesn't say it, but you get a real sense of... You thought that was my only vessel. Like, that you're that silly. You thought that was it. That's all I was this thing out there, you know? You're getting a true sense of, like, the upper level of what being a vampire is in this world when you look at this woman. If she can do shit like this, like, this is, So,
from what I understand, she can, like, consciously just read my thoughts currently at every point?
Yeah. With this mark, she can, yeah. She's gonna know where you are, what you're doing, who you're speaking to, you know, what your feelings are.
Is there ways to trick it, or would I not know?
I would think you probably need to get the fuck out of Dodge first, and then address one problem at a time.
Okay, true.
Okay.
And you sure as heck wouldn't want to come find me.
Yeah, Philberto would suss that out within like 3 seconds. Probably.
Well, no, it's a case of surely her finding me would be finding my location would be very useful to her.
Maybe, but maybe she wants it all done in nice and neat, like, you know, in one room. You never know. You do. I mean, who? As far as you know, this woman's like thousands of years old, and she's from Earth.
Yeah.
You know, like who are you to second guess what this ageless, immortal being is doing and saying? You know. So, Arthak lets you go, Filberto.
I'm not.
Sorry, Dennis. And she says, "Oh, one last thing," and she like, and somebody walks over and hands you a piece of paper. And when you look at it, it's a contract in blood, and it's a contract between her and Arthak. And she said, "Present this to your friend. I wish him to know his abandonment before he dies."
Right, you really have it out for us.
So they let you go back to the elevator, and they take you downstairs, and you're led out of the sovereign.
Wait, I'm not gonna let it end that nicely.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the toilet and start dropping just Molotov cocktails. As I'm leaving, I plan to burn the whole building down at least.
Alright, they're not going to just allow you to... Okay.
I mean, are they gonna follow me into the toilet?
They're not going to let you go to the toilet. They're going to frog march you outside. They're not going to let you go anywhere.
I mean, once I'm downstairs, it's just normal employees with a black coat.
Yeah, that is true, but like, it depends how... Now that they know you're here, I'm telling you now, they're not going to let you just walk around the building to set things up for tomorrow.
That is a fair point.
You know, you can try and do it anyway, but they're going to know what you're doing. They're going to see what you're doing.
They'll throw you out in your
What
ass.
about going around to the Blackcoats and saying that it's take up your arms, this is Duskfall treason, all those people need to be executed by the order of under the authority of the king.
Are you gonna actually say that right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So as soon as you get downstairs, you say that.
Yeah, to the red. I mean, more closer to the exit where the redcoats are, not the private guards.
Okay. They don't know what the fuck to do. They're looking around. They are, and one of the guys there, one of the Duskfall guys says, "Don't listen to him. He's a madman." Right?
Don't you hear this man's accent? I am a Blackcoat under the authority of the king, and I told you to take up your arms and destroy the building with the traitors inside.
So,
with the
as you say this, several people start making for the door, like normal people. Like clerks start leaving their desk and like, okay, that's enough work for today, and they just like get up and they just start booking it for the door, and you create kind of a stampede as people are going past and stuff.
And I pull out the Demon Blood contract to show them off. This is not something we do in the Dominion.
Well, I mean, you can try, but they want to get the fuck out. Like, then no one's going to stop for the Blackcoat and say, "Oh, yeah, that's very interesting, sir. Yes, tell me more."
I mean, they're like
they're
the
out of there.
Which are supposed to protect people.
The Redcoats are currently trying to get people to calm down. They're just like, stop, and they're being pushed back, and eventually, you start to notice one or two of the Redcoats just book it. They go, "Oh, fuck this," and they're out. They just, I'm not getting paid enough for this. They're running away. So
is there enough of panic to start with the throwing of the burning stuff?
Yeah. Are you going to start throwing Molotov cocktails into this building with? I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just start. I'm just going to let you throw them because it's not going to bring down the building. So yeah, you just throw them inside as like almost like a protester, just throwing shit in. But eventually, you're faced by several redcoats who apparently aren't really redcoats at the doorway, who are aiming their weapons at you, and like 8 or 9, maybe even 10 Duskfall vampires who are all, they're not bristling with energy or anything. They just look like really hard dudes in trench coats at this time, and you hear a voice in your head saying, "Enough histrionics, enough. If you wish our deal to proceed, walk away now."
Fine. Okay, I'm leaving.
Okay, so we will leave the first part there for a minute, so I can just head to loo, and I'll be back in a sec.
All I can say is, holy shit, she can also communicate.
Yeah. Like, never make deals with weird entities, but at least it does also seem like she can remotely kill me, which is like not nice.
Nice.
Yeah. The situation's not good.
I mean, you took a tactical nuke to a negotiation, so well done for that.
I should have taken a nuke before I entered the building.
Yeah. You should ask Tobias if he's got any of his grenades. Although she would know.
She would now know that they're dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
At least we know that neither of the mayoral candidates were traitors.
Now, do you want to phone me up or something? Or do you want to actually meet?
Oh, I'm back. We can actually still take
I
a break
mean,
for a couple minutes.
he's not gonna go to the base but he might. The thing is, he can't really do anything without her knowing. So he's just gonna go to a place where he would expect you to go to him.
Yeah.
Which logically would be like if Dennis was not around for long enough, you would probably go look for him at the strip club where we were in the first session from like the first season 1, because so he would go there and do his usual shtick just to wait for either of you to show up.
Fair enough. Would that be a phone? Because you could just phone me.
I don't think we are that technologically ahead. We have telegraphs.
A telegraph? Well, yeah, I guess. I guess you could telegraph me. Find a spot to.
Yeah, that would make sense. But this time it would be important that also Sangren comes along and that we meet at Artek's place.
Yeah. Fair enough. I guess you would telegraph me.
Something like just meet at Artek, bring the big guy.
Okay. And say, Dennis, I'll say to Sangan, Dennis wants to meet with us at Artek's place. Don't know what about. I wonder how that meeting went, you know?
I'm surprised he made it alive. And then I'm going to turn to one of the other Blackcoats that are there. It's like, where the hell is Swan?
Yeah.
Because I imagine there's a couple of Blackcoats milling about.
And one of them comes in. He looks like he's got his hood up. He's about 6'1", 6'2", well built, and you can see he's got like a what looks like a sword along his back and two what looks like volcanic pistols just hanging on either side of his belt, and looks like he's ready to rock, sort of a thing. And he says, "We've been advised, sir, that Mr. Swan is orchestrating an assassination tomorrow afternoon, to take place at the Sovereign, whilst our esteemed friend is taking office. He has to come out to deliver a speech, and that'll be the time when we take him."
Sanger just shakes his head, and then just fine. Tell him if he comes, tell him I've left.
All right.
And then Sangern's gonna leave with Filberto.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Sangern's at this point just carrying all of his weapons everywhere. He's just mad, and he wants somebody to shoot.
Okay, he's just ready to go at this point. Okay, so we can just skip ahead to the point where you guys meet up. That's fine. So you're at Arthak's place. So you go in there first, Dennis. Obviously, and you find it's deserted. Aside from one presence that you can sense in the actual place itself.
Yeah. Does it still have the weird?
Does it still have the what? Sorry.
It's still the barrier up.
Yes.
Does it still have the lockup room?
Yes.
Do we hear anything from the lockup room at all?
Well,
we're not there yet.
Oh, are we? Sorry.
Okay, so there's a presence. Does the presence seem vampiric?
No.
Does it seem like the butler?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Then I just greet the butler as usual and say that I have a meeting later, scheduled with Artek.
He nods and like shakes your hand, and says, he says, "Oh yes sir." He walks over and says, "Can I get you a drink, sir?"
Sure.
Roll insight.
Within the blink of an eye, he has taken a blade from looks like his wrist up his sleeve. I need you to roll speed for me. Let's roll.
There's
speed.
not gonna be a lot of dice.
But one of us saw this coming.
One of us has really bad luck this session. I'm surprised I'm yet not dead yet.
You did run off on your own to go to the person who we are pretty sure is the traitor.
Well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very Dennis thing to do, but I hope you're not surprised.
So, we are dealing with somebody that obviously Arthak knew what he was doing when he hired this guy. So
this is gonna be real awkward.
he
Let me
takes
just
the
get there
blade out
Dennis's
and
head.
rams it straight into your stomach, like right in there, just straight in. Before he gets a chance to twist it and pull it out, though, that is a good enough roll to. It's a bad roll, but it's a good enough roll to stop him from just gutting you there and then. I'm going to give you a full attack round. What would you like to do? What would you like to do as we initiate combat? I'm guessing this guy's dead, but like, what would you like to do?
Yeah. Okay. The thing that Dennis would do at this point is drink him dry.
Yeah. So actually heal yourself by just devouring him.
Are you gonna get high?
I mean, he does have to heal himself from the stab wound. So that's
I'm
basically
gonna
just
say
logic.
I'm gonna say this is gonna be a very serious wound, and you're gonna take an almighty debuff, unless you go back on your cold turkey, and you addict yourself again to blood. That is the devil's bargain here. So you can either take a little bit of blood and heal yourself up, but you'll have a big debuff for the rest of the session, which is probably like the biggest session we've had for terrible things and combat and stuff. Which I'm telling you that now because you know that's what's coming.
No,
like, you know.
yeah. He would go full in vampire addiction.
Or you can go
it's
full
not the time
or
to mess
ham.
around.
Okay, so you just drain this guy.
Yeah.
The other two turn up just as you're like finishing off, like you're just like slurping up the last of his, and you just like throw him to the ground, and the actual blade it actually ejects itself from your flesh the flesh like almost rejects it, like it heals itself around it and then goes pop and there's and you can hear that the clang of this obsidian dagger go clong against the floor as the other two walk in after hearing the commotion.
I draw my rifle immediately and point it at Dennis and say,
Wouldn't
"What
he
the?"
see that as sword ejected from me?
I wouldn't see the sword.
I
I
don't
guess
know that
I'd see the...
Filiberto would notice it immediately because Filiberto's also, human.
Yeah.
And
Okay, I
so,
would say.
but Sangern would probably notice it and stop Filiberto from shooting him.
So you just like put your hand on the weapon and push it down, basically.
And just kind of go just to Dennis. Dennis, explain.
Dennis would not even really look at them. Just go to the. It would be obvious that he's going to the room where nobody can listen in.
Okay.
Probably just turn around and go to the room where nobody.
I thought it was the whole house.
It is the whole house.
So if it's the whole house, he would wait until they come in, and then they can talk.
I mean, I imagine at that point we would have had to be in to see that, right?
So he would pull out the piece of paper with the blood pact and say, "Okay, there is bad news and there is the worst news. First is the bad news. Artek is a traitor working for the Duskfall Empire who sold his soul to the vampire lady. And the second worst news is I was forced into basically the same deal."
Are you showing? Have you just taken out the paper, or are you showing it to Sangren as you're saying this?
He's showing it generally. Both Sangren and Filbert would probably be able to read it.
Oh, that angry vampire bitch.
Sangren literally just like fucking just like puts his whole fucking arm just through an interior wall, just fucking smashes it. I feel just he's not happy. Mm-hmm. This has been a long day. It has been a very long day for Sangren.
Sangren is the second least fucked of us.
So I'm gonna say, and Autumn's in league with them?
No, actually, they're threatening him. First thing he did when I entered the room was tell me to kill all of them, including Artek. But let's say I'm not gonna be able to kill the vampire lady, 2 elder vampires, and Artek all at once. Like, I have my limits. So I made a devil's bargain for, let's say, to get out alive. She can probably heal, but the deal is to get you two and myself to the room to where the inauguration speech will take place, then murder you two, then conquer the city and transfer it to the Duskfall Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So the situation is generally pretty bleak, and I recommend to use, knowing Artek, he's from the sneaky guys, he probably wanted to do something sneaky.
Artek was
not Artek, I mean Swan.
Yeah.
Swan wanted probably to do something sneaky. Tell him to lay off the sneakiness for once and just use artillery.
Yeah,
Like,
Sangren
I'm sorry,
has gone to a telegraph and sent a message to Chamber of Vigilance
Yeah.
to get Swan to Arthic's house, like immediately. Like
Okay.
like he's very blunt about it. Everything and just like anything, what any other concerns are secondary.
Would they? Is there a Blackcoat code for when shit is so fucked? Basically, the equivalent of a code black or something like that. Something that is
Yeah.
above code red level importance.
You just call it code black. It's fine.
Yeah, code black is actually pretty fitting.
It sounds
Yeah,
cool.
code black.
Okay. So you send that, code black, get here right now, this second. Within like 2 or 3 minutes, he's there. Like as if you rap on the door, and one of the Blackcoats just swings it open, and he strides in, and he takes his gloves off and says, "What the fuck it?" And he looks at the body. He looks at the body on the floor and goes, "Who is this now?"
Yeah, Sangren's got another bottle and and just gestures towards the contract, and then just kind of turns and steps out the room.
Oh.
Yeah, Dennis explains the whole situation again, but like with a slightly annoyed voice because he's repeating the exact same things the same way.
He turns on his heel to another Blackcoat and says, "Blackcoat Mallory, I'd like you to make a business call for me, please. To the General Ignatius of the Dominion Army. Tell him to bring the guns. The big guns." And he just turns around to all of you and says, "I have decided to hold a fireworks display tomorrow. It is called Kill Every Fucker I Do Not Like, circa 1886. Would you all like to join me?"
I probably should not leave this room. I probably should not be leaving this room. I'm a walking listening device and biological bomb in one, so...
Intriguing.
Sangren's going to return from the room, and he's definitely polished off that second bottle he's now had. He's had enough at this point. I think that he's not unsteady, but he's definitely a little tipsy and a little mad.
Dennis would at this point also mention that the guy who put in the biological bomb actually wanted to prevent a Duskfall Empire takeover, so it might actually be a good idea to ask him to be a temporary ally.
He tells another subordinate to pass that message along. He says,
Sangren is gonna just kind of stop that and just like, how about we just go get him now? And then just kind of, it just kind of like drops finishes the bottle, sets it down, and then just kind of gets ready to head out.
Go back to the place.
Done.
Have fun.
Oh, the warehouse. Yeah.
So, you guys are heading. Do you want to head to the warehouse?
Yeah.
Sangren's in a no-nonsense mood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dennis is gonna get out in the room.
I'm just gonna say, how long would it be until this fleet gets here? I'm just gonna ask, or ask Swan even. How long do you think this fleet?
So Swan says, as far as we know, it is forming a cordon around the city. It is not actually invading, so to speak. It has made no attempts to fire upon our own vessels. But let me be clear, we cannot afford a naval war with Duskfall. They will win it. What they are doing, they are not telling us.
Dennis, you're not going to like this, but could I take a sample of your blood, please?
You can take a sample of my piss for all I care.
Okay, and I'll stick a needle in, but I am going to very, very religiously and stick it in a vial, but I'm going to very, very vigorously clean it.
Okay. Yeah. Like the most stringent...
Like obsessively clean it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And are you doing this for?
I'm going to keep a copy of that virus.
Okay. So you've got a copy of it
Ooh.
stashed away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good idea if it does still activate in the vial in 48 hours, just saying.
I mean, I would have sterilized the vial. The vial would be clean.
It's like a magic
I
virus,
will.
but okay, in character, I would think that it's for something immediate to actually help. So if you kill an entire civilization, that's what you...
Yeah, but it would need to spread, and I guess I would be sterilizing it as much as possible. I would have some experience of handling viruses of that sort of kind. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be a completely unreasonable thing for me to know how to handle that sort of thing and disinfection control.
Yeah.
Although a living host, on the other hand, or a host, is a very different ball game entirely.
Okay. So, that's fine. We can sort that out. So, right. Okay. So, Sangun is off, and Swan has said he will go with him. So he has gone with you.
I would tell one last thing to Swan before he leaves. Most of the Redcoats are also traitors for the Duskfall. Like Fate.
How many?
I mean, the ones guarding the villa, basically 2/3. On the whole city, I don't know.
He just sighs and goes, "It's gonna be one of those weeks," and he just shakes his head and just walks out the door. And so we can skip forward to where you guys are at the warehouse. It's not that hard to find. It seems like it's pretty open actually. Like people are just it's like a compound. Like people are here just having a few drinks, celebrating the new mayor. But you can see like behind the veneer there is definitely they're doing this to keep up appearances. It's not really the smiles don't really reach people's eyes around this place. That's something that Swan notices straight away. He turns around to you, Sangun. It's only Sangun and Swan there, because obviously we're allowing those guys to play Blood Nurse back in Arthak's place. A few Blackcoats are there with you as well. Filberto, they're in the house with you, just lying low, waiting for tomorrow.
I was going to gas the place, so
okay.
I would join the party, surely.
Well, you can either do the blood thing, it's going to take you a while, or you can go with them. It's up to you.
I'll take the blood then.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
I mean, you can give us some sleeping gas if you want.
Yeah, I'll give you some sleeping gas.
Okay.
Could I also maybe ask for one last thing to maybe bring Sangun's dad to Artek's place?
Sangun's dad is not compos mentis right now. Like he is like lying down, unconscious. So.
Oh, he's okay. If he's unconscious, then that won't help.
Yeah, he's gonna be down for a couple of days.
Yeah.
No fancy steroid to at least inject him so he wakes up.
Okay.
So,
you can do that, Filberto, but we do have more pressing matters right now. But like we can definitely.
Oh yeah, no, that's my thinking later on.
Okay. So let's get to the bottom of this. So as soon as you walk in, Swan is wearing the black. He doesn't give a fuck. He's just striding in, and people are just clearing out of his way until you see you actually see Daedalus O'Mal like sitting there over a bit of wine, and he raises the glass and says, "Now then, the esteemed Blackcoats, here at last." And he necks his drink and says, "What can I do for you, gentlemen?"
Zagger just kind of, in the middle of his snippy remarks, just grab him by the collar and lift him up out of the chair he's in.
Okay. Like, that's not... Yeah, you people draw their weapons on you, but they're not doing anything. They're just like, they all cock their weapons and they're all pointing their guns at you. And the guy is holding onto your hands as you're holding onto, like, his throat and his neck and says, bad day, I take it.
Sangren's been wearing the mask up to this as he's been left. He's gonna take off the mask and go like full vampire-looking face right now, and be like, "You have no idea," and like kind of bare the fangs.
Okay.
And then just like the antidote now.
What could you possibly mean? I don't really.
Is there a wall nearby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that.
Okay. You're just gonna like
Got
throw.
it, right.
Expected it to be a little bit more diplomatic.
I'm not letting go of him. I'm just like slamming him into the wall. Not hard enough to knock him out,
And
but enough to get the point across.
As you're doing that, like all the weapons are now like full on, like trained on you, and you can hear like they're loading and getting ready to shoot. And wait.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Swan like jumps, like not jumps, but like hobbles between you all, and like goes into his pocket and brings out this like flashing, what looks like a grenade, and presses it, and just says, "Not so fast. Put your guns down, or I will vaporize every last fucking person here, standing within 13 feet of me." Go on. And a few of them like start like putting down guns at a nod from Daedalus. Good lad. All right. And then Daedalus says, "I don't know what the fuck you want from me. Just
Dennis, the virus.
Dennis would be not here.
No.
Yeah,
saying,
no. Because he knows. You've explained that he knew that your name at least, right?
Yeah. So
yeah. So
he's
Dennis, the virus.
He's gonna say, "Do you even know what? Do you even know what I asked of him?"
Yes.
He's supposed
and
to
at
solve
this point, I don't care. I'm gonna squeeze a little tighter. He can still talk, but just to get the point across, I don't care. Autumn is mine anyways. The antidote.
He nods and says, "You're gonna kill him?"
I'm gonna kill anyone involved in this mess.
Fair enough. And he like goes into his jacket pocket and like brings out this vial. Says, "Just inject him with that. You'll be fine. Can't let me down now."
I'm gonna chuck him back at his men, and then
it's like a
just kind of turn
bowling
towards
ball
Swan and be like,
heading into a load of guys. And he just like falls down.
I would turn towards Swan. It's like, whatever you want to do with these useless pricks, and then
he turns around on his heel again and goes, "Gentlemen, I hereby pronounce you deputized temporarily into the august majesty of his High King's service, into the Blackcoat Order. If you will come with me with your weapons, sharp objects, blunt objects, flammable objects, anything with which you would like to puncture, kill, or maim, follow me, please." And he just like starts walking away, and Daedalus like just looks to his men. He wants this anyway, so he nods and goes, "Yeah, okay, fine." He's rubbing his neck, and so Swan is hobbling out, and he's followed by like 600 odd like just ne'er-do-wells with like, some of them have like bits of wood with a nail smashed through it. Some of them have like actual guns and things, and so they're just like following him down the street. And where are you going now? Where are you heading?
To Dennis.
Okay, so you go straight back to Dennis. So as Dennis, you're getting this really freaky blood transfusion from Filberto, and he's assuring you that this is for a good cause. Not sure whether that will, as I just
that it's the antidote.
Just as he finishes, and he's like, "Yes, that will do," and he puts it away. You're about to ask, "Is this for the antidote?" And you're probably going to get like a slight no when
I'm just going to say yes.
When
it's exactly what it is. I'm stone facing sarcasm here.
The door.
I'm going to bullshit that.
The door opens, yes. And in strides Sangun.
And I'm just gonna take come up to them, and I imagine like there's windows in this house, right?
Yeah.
I imagine like Omal's just kind of fiddling his thumbs outside.
Yeah.
Sort of as meant.
No, they've not followed you. You don't know where Swan is taking this fucking rabble.
Yeah, Yeah, that's a good idea, probably, because I do imagine the lady's also watching this place to some extent.
Yeah. Okay, so Sangren's going to, once he's in the house, is going to give you give the two of you the antidote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we stick it in.
No, that's one problem dealt with. The magic seal thing, I have been thinking for a bit. If we could wake your dad up for a bit, considering it's the same type of magic, maybe he could do something about it?
Maybe, but...
I mean, Filberto probably has some sort of horse steroids which would be able to wake him up for a few hours.
Yeah, I'm sure I could knock up.
I'm just going to turn to Filberto. It's like, do what you need to, just don't kill him. I have questions.
Yeah, understood.
And then he's going to head to the telegraph to figure out with Swan what their next step is.
And I'm going to say to Sangren and say, I have a sample that might be of interest to us.
He said it.
Sangren's kind of look at him like, this is really stupid even for you.
All I can say is,
I mean, I have a because he's been here, he's been with Dennis. There's literally like there's blood drawing, like syringes and shit. There's no other thing that could be, other than he's taking a sample of Dennis's blood. There's like even Sangren with his willful just like not wanting to deal with bullshit is gonna take one look around and be like, you fucking Jesus.
Yep.
We all know Sangren does not want to know as often as that's possible.
I wonder what a vial of this hitting our vampire friend would do. I wonder what that would do.
Besides kill all of us?
Yeah, it's gonna spread through the... Wait, Dennis wouldn't hear that probably, and he's in the I care for politics mood.
How about we don't... We keep that into absolute last resort. Put it in something indestructible. Now.
Okay. I'll pull out a large metal ammo case or something that I would just probably have and say, this is about the closest thing I can get. And I will pack it with as much cotton wool or whatever. Well, not cotton wool. Something soft and foamy.
There's loads of clothes in here. You can.
Yeah, loads of old clothes would do. It's something to pad it as much as possible.
Sangren's like watching in somewhat horror, but somewhat just so over this whole day, and is gonna go to send a telegraph to, he's gonna ask Filberto, check his blood, make sure this antidote's working. Yeah, and I don't have to go back and find Omal.
You go ahead and do a perception check, but with Savant.
Oof.
Yeah. So you, from what you can tell, it's working just fine. Like there's nothing weird or overly. He's a vampire, so there's some weird shit going on, but like he's not overly, not showing signs of what he's just been showing the past few days anyway.
Fair enough.
So it seems to be working.
Right. Yeah. Let's figure out this situation with Swan. I think he's building up an army. And he's gonna shake his head and then say, "Oh, Dennis, don't kill Omal until this is over."
Well, that's honestly, I'm more so concerned about the vampire bitch.
Yeah,
Swan's into this place soon.
Yeah, Swan's apparently drafted Omal's crew to deal with her.
That's not going to be anywhere near enough.
All that much. Can I at least pummel him so he looks ugly afterwards?
Absolutely. After.
Yeah.
Got it.
And don't forget the giant fleet. And I'll just point out toward dusk. I'll point out toward the Black Glass Sea.
Yeah.
I don't think Sangren's actually noticed it up till this point.
He is a pirate captain who said he has a really nice pirate fleet.
Yeah. But Sangren hasn't actually noticed the fleet up till this point. He's been just so fucking focused on everything he's been doing that you point and don't forget about the fleet, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then looks out the window and sees the fleet, and it's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, with lots of Duskfall banners all just sitting there at the edge of the.
Yeah, it looks pretty gnarly. Yeah.
I'm glad the pirate guy agreed to work with us then.
And I'll point to the box and say, I might have an answer for that.
We talked about water, and it's still bad.
Yeah.
Last resort. Let's call that plan ZZZZ.
Okay, so, what are you all going to try and do for the rest of the evening before we go into our rather large shit show that is going to be happening tomorrow?
Wake up Sangren's dead and
Yeah.
have him try to remove the magic seal in my head, or at least fuck with it as much as he can.
Yeah.
So
probably-
we'd have to wake him up and bring him to the house because it's the only place you can be safe.
Yeah, I imagined it more that you bring him here and then wake him up, so we have the maximum time of him being awake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably
bring
put
a
him on
cart.
something that like speed or something. Something that will really.
But not kill him,
No.
preferably.
He
Yeah.
can always
Preferably.
feed something. Maybe bring a human or two so he can feed on something if he needs to stay alive. Alright, he
Yeah.
can't feed because he has vampire cancer.
He can't feed on me.
Well, no.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is I would have the people who are currently taking care of him, at least some of them join us because they have the resources to get what they need to take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want you to kill him, so having a second set of eyes there will probably help. Because I mean, above all else, right now, Sangren does not want to inherit a title. So the longer this guy stays alive, the longer Sangren has to get out of this nonsense.
True. Okay. So, are you guys heading back to Lucius first? To your little thing?
I thought we were bringing Lucius to us, so.
Would you want to move a man who is critically injured into a city that's about to, sort of detonate?
Would you want to bring a person which constantly transmits his location and everything he sees to a secret base?
Well, that's true. I mean, you could leave.
Yeah.
As much as I'm loath to do it, you could leave one of your compatriots here and have him just chill out until the morning.
I mean, the whole thing with Lucius is that he's supposed to try to mess with the magic seal. I say bring him here. If he dies, he dies.
Okay, so you guys can go and try and do that. The Blackcoats who are there at your hideout aren't very happy. They do warn you as well, like saying, look, moving him is not, an A1 thing to do. You can certainly we will put him in a carriage for you and get him there if you want, but be very careful. And I'll just say that he gets there. There's not, but it is about 4 a.m. by the time he gets there, so you're well into the night now, and
I mean, Sangren would pretty much draft at least a couple of these guys to go with him, and keep him as stable and as alive as possible for this whole thing. He's not, he wants to make sure that this has the best chance of succeeding. So he's got them there, and making sure they get whatever they need for this, and he's basically just going to, if he needs to, go out on the street, find the nicest carriage that he can find, and just fucking say, I'm taking this.
Okay.
As a Blackcoat.
That's fine. That's not a problem. Do you know what? I'm okay with that. Yeah, you can keep that one. That's fine. Yeah, that's cool. Let's keep that. So he gets there about 4 a.m. No worse for wear, which is nice. But it is up to you what happens next. So he's in the room, and he is still asleep. He's still, away with the fairies, so to speak. It is up to you. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna start brewing a steroid, something to wake him up. Yeah, well, I'd go for some speed rather than meth, but yeah. Go for amphetamines and say, I'm just going to say to Sangern, are you sure you want me to go through with this? I'm just going to give Sangern one opportunity to back out.
Sangren's gonna kind of walk up to him, and in his very no nonsense, not his angry voice that he's been using the last few days, but his very very no nonsense voice.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure he survives. I need to talk with him.
Okay.
Like Sangren's done being like, polite. It's been a long day. This is still the same day, guys. This is still the same day.
Yeah, I'll hand him a syringe and say, this should wake him up. I can't guarantee anything, naturally, but this is about the strongest thing that I can make without killing him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sangren's going to also talk to the Terminus people about making sure there's someone there he could feed on, or some way for him to have blood as soon as he wakes up.
Okay.
We got any blood bags?
I mean, the Terminus guys will have it, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, didn't the Sangren dad have a disease where he couldn't feed anyway?
I think it was that feeding did less for him. I thought I may have misunderstood. Like,
I thought it was that. I thought it did less for him.
Okay, I understood
but
it wrong then.
I can't really remember.
Couldn't he have more transfusions?
Then yeah, bring some prostitutes. Man needs fresh blood.
Couldn't we just get blood bags, as in literal bags of blood,
Yeah,
rather
but
than
human blood directly from a person works better than blood bags. I remember.
I mean, Dean did say that the Terminus people were able to get, live people to give blood for.
They would be able to sort you out. It's not going to be a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough.
So that's part of the reason Sangren is making sure the Terminus people are along, is because they have more experience with this anyone, and he wants the best chance of this to work.
Mm-hmm.
He's not that hopeful, but frankly, he's not even sure that the Arthex house is enough to stop this vampire from seeing what's happening.
I'll hand Sangern the syringe and say, here's where you need to inject it. You'll only have one shot at this, all right?
Sangren's going to turn to the Terminus people to make sure they're ready for this, because he's fully explained everything that's happened.
Yeah.
And then so he's gonna go for it.
So you stab it in and you inject it, and he rages out of what will be torpor. So he like comes bolt straight up, and is like breathing heavily with this needle sticking out of his chest, and just looks around, and you can tell he's like really weak. So he tries to get up, and he sort of like falters, and then just like lies back down and takes it out of his chest.
Sangren's gonna call for the blood for him.
Yeah, so he drinks whatever sauce you've given him. Like he drinks, doesn't drain whoever it is, but he does drink, and lays back and says, "What do you need?"
I'm gonna point to Dennis and take a step back.
Your sister's gonna conquer the country, and she put some fancy thing in my head, a seal. Considering you're technically speaking higher in the hierarchy than her, can you do something about it? And Dennis would just like point his head to him.
He says, I could, but you probably wouldn't be seeing me for a while. I mean, not overly dramatic. I just, it'd probably put me back into,
Sangren, you okay with that, or?
I'm gonna turn to him. It's like, you'll live?
I think so.
I'm gonna turn and look towards the Terminus guys, and I imagine like see what their kind of diagnosis is.
They just shrug. They're just like, we just kill vampires. We don't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like.
Sangren's gonna turn towards turn towards Lucius and be like, whatever she's done, I doubt it's just for listening and hearing. If you can weaken it in some way, we need any advantage we can get at this point. This is happening tomorrow.
He nods and beckons. He beckons Dennis over to him.
Dennis looks up and
I'm going to say to Sangan, you had some questions.
Hurt me. This is gonna hurt quite a lot, won't it?
Yeah.
I have add a character. So when I built Sangern, we were able to do, like, from the original character laws, I was able to take kind of the rift closing spell based on the original laws. Is that still kind of a viable thing? Would he still have that kind of training?
You can do things like magic cancellation and things like that. Yeah, you can take shit away.
Would Sangern be able to help?
No, this is way beyond your remit right now. You're mainly a combat guy.
But I meant more just kind of, whatever devil blood he has, just kind of let Lucius use his whatever innate or latent, magic he might have.
You could certainly try. Lucius doesn't want you anywhere near this though, but you can certainly try if you want to.
He wants this to work. Whatever it takes, he wants this to work, and for us to get out of this so he can figure this shit out when he's not spent all day killing vampires.
Okay.
So he's going to basically muscle his way in and say, we figure this out. You know what you're doing. Show me.
So he puts his hand on Dennis's forehead and closes his eyes, and you can see a what looks like a powerful crimson light coming from his hand and enveloping Dennis's head. Dennis, you swear you can hear a scream from the other end of the city, a female's scream, just as it's almost like your sinuses are on fire. And you feel like pulling away, but you can't. You just can't feel. You can't get the strength to pull away.
Honestly, Dennis is more happy than in pain of seeing that the annoying woman, is suffering.
I mean, yeah, but this pain is not. Put it this way:
nice.
For the rest of the session, you're taking -5 to health. This is not good. This is a shitty thing to go through. You're basically being I don't want to use the word, but mind raped at this point. Like, things taken out of your head, essentially. You hear the voice of Lucius in your head saying, "Sorry about this, son, but I had to take away a few other things as well. They were attached. She was too firmly embedded in there. Nothing serious, just you may not know a few people when you come back round. I'll see you in a few days, hopefully." And then he's gone. And he falls back into the bed, just completely catatonic. When you open your eyes, and you can't hear her anymore, you can't even feel her presence anymore. She's gone. But you do have a funny feeling of, like, where are you? And it takes you a few seconds to, like, look around, and eventually, oh, that's Sangern. Oh, that's Filberto. Oh, and it starts to come back, and eventually you're back in the room, and you know exactly where you are and what you're doing.
I'm gonna take.
Orphanage? Would I remember the orphanage?
No.
I'm going to check Lucius's pulse.
Like all of it, or just
all
completely
of it
erased?
right now, or they completely erased.
Not the children's. Not the children's.
Well, Dennis doesn't know what he forgot, but I guess the others are gonna tell him once they figure out that he's not reacting in any
Why
way
haven't you
to
gone
the kids
back
on
to
the
that
street.
fucking orphanage in the past? No.
I'd like to check Lucius's pulse.
Okay. He is alive. Not having fun, but he is alive.
How is Sangern doing, having, handled magic properly for the first time ever, I guess?
I'd say you're doing not too badly at all, considering.
Maybe he got some of Dennis's memories of the kids.
Like father, like son, eh?
I don't want children's memories. I don't want weird memories of you with your random children. That's just sounds awkward.
So, let's figure out. Right, so you now have all the pieces in place for tomorrow, as far as you know. You do get a telegram back from Swan, essentially saying everything is set up. Please come to this warehouse, or this municipal building, opposite the sovereign, the sovereign palace, tomorrow for around 2:00.
When's the inauguration?
3:00.
Ah. So I assume there'll be huge crowds out in the streets.
Though there will be, yes, there will be.
Not once we march up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a potentially invading fleet just sitting conveniently out the way. Convenient.
You can, you can tell from his language in his note that he is not fucking around this time. Like he's bringing the big gun, shall we say? He's bringing everything. Like he's gonna demolish this fucking place. Yeah, essentially that's what he's doing. Like he's not kidding around.
Yeah, Sangren's here for that.
Okay.
Yeah, likewise.
Alrighty. So, we can skip to the second day if you want. Unless there's anything you want to do. Okay.
Yes, I mean Sangren's aside from trying to making sure that we have every single possible weapon.
Yeah, I'd be up all night, brewing as many different incendiary and chemical weapons as possible.
Yeah, I mean Sangren would make sure the Terminus guys are taking care of Lucius, and then he might actually take that fucking carriage that he commandeered, and and go to fucking Tobias and load up.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, you can do that. Go and load everything up.
Actually, may I ask Sangren? I think it might be a time that you can introduce me to your friend.
You know what? You have asked at the only time that Sangren would ever consider this. And I'm so mad about it. Out of character, I'm so mad about it. But it did cross my mind that would be a good idea. But it's also something that I was like, I cannot.
Even
literally.
I'm so mad. But yeah, but Sangren is just gonna just shake his head and then wave you on.
Okay.
I'm so mad about this. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to Sangren.
So I believe. Let's just say that you get everything that you want, Sangren. Right? You know what you're after, right? So you get everything you want within reason.
Dennis also ordered something, which would be a thunder augmentation to his chainsword.
Probably going to take longer than a night.
It's just attaching a battery to it, so it shocks people when you hit.
I thought you meant elemental thunder. Yeah, fine. Yeah.
No, electric, just electricity.
Yeah,
he is in the lab where the electricity lady was.
He makes some Oh, here we go. Like he makes a generator gloves that attach to this thing through wires, to this chain through wires, and you've got to it's almost like a stress ball. You got to squeeze loads of times to charge it up, and then just start swinging, sort of a thing. Okay, so we'll do that. But because you've waited,
mostly just Sangren would want more explosive rounds. Grenades.
Can we let Matt have his moment so his balls don't explode, please? Before we
oh, yes, sorry.
So, because you waited so long, within reason, I'm going to let you request whatever you want, and he will make it.
Oh, my.
Within reason.
Because I imagine the two of them can make it together.
Yeah.
So
I want more of those grenades, those solar grenades.
Okay, how many do you want?
5 each, if we can make.
He can make you 20 if you want, 20
okay,
each.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, a box of 20 would be great.
Okay, so there's 20 each on belts, so you can have bandoliers of these things. If you want.
Yeah.
Anything else?
20 each?
Yeah.
Oh my Christ.
blessed.
Ooh. What else would I want? We've got a railgun already. What'd be large enough?
Things I never thought I'd hear in Blackcoats.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
they got a railgun already.
I mean, could he just, augment the weapons that he's already made for us?
Yeah. That would be
Yeah,
it.
could do within reason again. So there's one night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overcharging the capacitors would be a good idea on the railgun, or whatever power source he's got. Upvolting that beyond its... It basically turns into an... If you can make it as unstable but horrifically terrifying for that one shot that it shoots, that would be good.
Yeah, because the Sangren has his gunblade, his chainsaw. You've got your railgun and your rifle, and then we brought. I guess we brought Dennis's chains, right?
Yes.
So, I'm just gonna. I think Sangren would just, with all of the regret he can possess, just kind of, put these things in front of you guys, and then just let the two of you work.
Yeah. I was also going to ask if he had any armor plate, like preferably something more robust than just black coat leather armor sort of thing.
He can add stuff in there, yeah. So he can add like alloys and things underneath.
Yeah, alloyed armor or something.
Yeah, yes. He does give you some. Okay, he can do it with some Fairite chainmail. That is going to add 2 to each of your armor.
Yeah.
You can do that before the.
Like
You can do that before the morning. That's fine. But this is both of you working all night, so I'm going to deduct 2 from your overall HP, because Filberto, because you worked all night. There's like 3 days now where you've not like.
Didn't I also?
Did we heal from?
Wasn't I also
heal from
undead and never
session?
needed to sleep?
Oh, that is a good point. Okay, so that is now no longer a thing because I've been corrected.
Sleep is for the weak.
Yeah, exactly.
Did we heal from the last session?
Yes.
Because I mean, it's been the same day, but
I would say you're running on pure adrenaline now, but like yes, you have recovered from that session. Put it this way, you are heroic characters, so we're not going to be like, no, you got no, it's just. Like,
I need a nap, guys. I need a nap.
Yeah. So yeah, you're all good. Alright. I think we're good. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so anything else? I'll give you one more round of requesting things. Anything else? This is just Filberto because he's working with. He's actually working with.
We've got improved gun blades, the railgun, some armor. We've got more solar grenades. I would like
combat drags.
The smaller one would be a single capsule, to distribute a vial. It'd basically be a dart, a dart for my viral sample.
Okay.
Since I didn't put it in one, it would be something very ornate, something that looks pretty, Yeah, it needs to look ornate and fancy.
He gives you what looks like a reinforced bullet.
Yeah.
And he says, this should do the job. It's like he can inject it into there very carefully if you want. Once you've distilled it from the blood, because the blood itself probably won't just spread the virus, but it will. If you have 10 minutes with it, you'll be able to do it. So if you want to do it now, you can do.
Yeah, I'll distill it and then say destroy the equipment. Okay. Or preferably making sure it's disposable. We want to burn every instance of anything we use.
Okay.
This is literally a war crime in a bottle.
Okay. I mean, that's not going to bother Tobias. He's fine. I think he doesn't really care. So, alrighty. So let's head to the next morning then. You guys make your way through town. It seems pretty bustling. Like everyone's ready to go. Everyone's having fun. You are seeing people in the streets. Everyone's there. Everyone's having a good time. But there is like
how they see us.
There is a very weird atmosphere though, as you hear the crowd start to groan and push away from people. And it seems that other Blackcoats are also on the way to the same place you are. And people are giving you a real wide berth as you're heading down there. Until finally, you come to the warehouse that you were asked to frequent by Mr. Swan. Swan is there surrounded by what I can only describe as several dozen vigilant Blackcoats. There are Blackcoats from the Chamber Terminus there too. And you can only, when you look out over the square towards the Sovereign, you can just see the battle lines are pretty much drawn, and they're gonna try and essentially have this go off without a hitch. You know, like I think like Swan comes to you and says, if that fleet out there were going to attack, I believe they would be doing so. I think that is a containment fleet. We have had no word from them. But I think they're as concerned with the person inside that palace as we are. I
did
think
say she was disliked by them.
I think they are hedging their bets, Master Dennis. I think they are waiting to see who comes out of this on top. If it is us, I'm hoping they'll back away. If it is them, they will see this as an opportunity, and we will see a second Great War kicking off on our doorstep. Those are the stakes, ladies and gentlemen. And then everyone just starts checking the weapons and stuff. It says, I want their heads. I want their children's heads. I want their wives' heads. I want their grandparents' heads. I want their friends' heads. I want their pets dead. I want them dead. All of them. Which is why, and he gives a signal, and the several cannons are unmasked that are nearby, and you are on a sort of a brick tower, you know, with several funnels coming out the top of it, but you know, derelict. And these are ringing the square and sort of like aimed towards the building. We will fire as soon as they show their faces, if they show their faces. It is up to you, though. I believe you three have earned your right to approach this in your own way. I will be sending my Blackcoats in several directions, but it's up to you where you would like to be.
Do we still have earpieces?
Yes, you can have earpieces.
Cool.
I think we just go right in the front
Yeah.
and tear them apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like a plan.
And if not, we bring the whole building down on them.
That's what the artillery is for.
Well, we've got that, and we've also, and I'm just pointing at the large belt that we've all got.
Sangren is going to unholster his giant golden Gatling gun.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's time. I think we just start moving forward.
Okay, so we'll set the scene. So the Blackcoats and certain elements of the Redcoats are arrayed, pointing their guns and their weapons at the stair entrances of this place. If you can look on the line for, and in fact, I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you. And it's a pretty cool building. Sort of looks like this. Ah. So, it kind of looks like... Let me just get this up and running. Ah. Save image as. 2 is fine. Oh my god. Fucking show. Yeah, thank you. So, it is... Looks like this. That is St George's Hall in Liverpool. It kind of looks like that. That's the building you're assaulting,
Mm.
and you're going up the main stairway here. The first person who fires is actually the Duskfall vampires. They are all arrayed on the steps, heading in, and they just start firing into the press to try and bring you onto them. Because I think they've come to the same conclusion that Swan has. That the winner of this is who it will dictate how Duskfall responds. You know, they think it's now or never. It's now time for war. You know, so a war erupts on the streets. You have gunfire going off in all different directions. All three of you are right in the middle of it. Would you guys like to fire into the press to try and get into this place?
I mean, Sangren had his
Stun
Gatling gun
grenades.
ready.
Yeah.
I assumed he would get close enough to to be able to step into the building, but if he's got to start shooting to get into the building, he's going to use that thing as a weed whacker.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
fire your gun. You're all good. Good to go.
I will take a few headshots. I'll try to. Yeah, I'll try to load incendiary. No, actually, explosive even.
Okay.
I'll load explosive.
Okay, so the Gatling gun does use strength as well. Did we end up getting any stat changes from the last one?
No.
Because
Okay.
we've got a bunch of armor and other stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wait. Plus, I don't have any particular shooting skills, so it's just going to be my strength, the attack bonus, and I guess giant because it is a strength weapon.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Cool.
Holding
1,
it
2,
steady.
3, 4, 5 in that attack,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess the second volley.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Oh, wait, how does that work? Okay. Oh man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay,
including five sixes.
So he is clearing the path here. Like the raking fire from this gun is just hammering out bits of stone and mortar as you guys walk up the steps. It is killing vampires. I want everybody else to have a go at shooting as well. So I've made a note of how many have gone down. Filberto, are you going to try and shoot as well?
Yeah, sure.
Have your full combat turn. There you go. Oh, no, never
Move.
mind. Dennis, can you fire?
I wanted to throw the grenades.
Okay.
How
yeah.
many can I throw at once?
2 in a turn.
Jeez.
Sure, then 2 grenades. That's gonna be strength plus what?
I would say strength plus
Brawn
brawn. No,
or
'cause
perception?
perception for trying to direct where it's going.
Okay, no perception, just strength.
Why am I the only one with perception?
Because
I
you're
mean, I
very
have some.
perceptive.
So these things go careening into the sky, and they actually, you feel like you fucked up because they're going very, very, very highly, until finally you figure out, oh no, that's kind of perfect, because you actually hurl them up into the sky and they explode right above the vampires, several of which are vaporized on contact with what the hell's coming out of this thing. And the ones who aren't are taken in the face by several, shall we say, very nasty, extremely nasty
Burnt.
pieces of shrapnel and things from this very large, very nasty golden Gatling gun, and 1 or 2 shots from Filberto are ringing in there as well. No idea if they hit anyone or not, probably not because of the way the roll went. But the vampires are forced back, but they will return fire as you guys are coming up the stairs. So we'll have 5 roll.
Will they be at any, the vampires at least, not like the redcoats and stuff, be at any kind of disadvantage after the sunlight?
Well, this is all happening at the same time, essentially. So we're
yeah.
They're not going to stop firing and let you fire at them. They're just going to. So this is going to. Oh, how did I do that?
Space.
You didn't do a space.
Oh yeah. I roll 5d6. The first one will be at Sangern. Bop 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 bop. Okay. Right. After armor, that would be 4 damage. 2 hits. Bang, bang.
All right.
Straight in there. Since you're right the middle. So, roll 3d6 for Filberto. Bang. So that is after your armor. That is 2
I've
damage.
got 9 armor now because of the 2 increase.
Yep. So that's 2 damage for you.
Okay.
And roll 3d6 for nothing to Dennis.
And they have a 1, so I get to counterattack once.
Is that in close
Because
combat
of
or just combat?
I will need to check, but I do think it was just generally a 1.
Okay.
I would need to. Could you send the PDF again because something broke for me?
Check the pinned
The
post.
Deathless Lands is the latest one,
It's
right?
not pinned.
I've got the Deathless Lands up. Let me
Just go for it.
find
Just go for it. It's not going to make that much of a difference in this one. Just go for it.
Okay.
It's fine.
Is he close enough to attack in melee or grenade?
Grenade would be probably the best.
Okay.
You're down to 17 grenades after this.
Yeah. Oh,
I should be worried about how much.
well, that's 3 successes and 5 failures, so I guess it doesn't go too well.
Okay.
4 successes, no?
4 successes.
Alright, so another grenade goes off. So you guys have killed around 13 vampires with this onslaught of lead and grenades. There are still lots more inside. So as you guys charge in, you are now in melee range. So, a few of them are going to charge you, and we won't do initiative because there's so many of them. So what we'll do is everything happens at the same time. It's that explosive what's going on. So, let me do their attacks first. So, a few roll into 66, into Sangern. Only one attack comes through, doing a further 4 damage. 4 damage. And we have
Half my HP.
5d6 on Filberto. That will do 8 damage as you're coming in. And we have 1 for... You will get your attacks back, by the way. 5d6. This is... Oh, shit.
Ooh, 2. That's 3 hits.
That would be... It's 4 each. So 4, 8, 12. That would be 12 damage.
Oh yeah, that's harsh. At least I get to counterattack again.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
3
Yeah.
health.
Yeah. This is the biggest bit. These are the loads of vampires in here.
Yeah. So that would be with the counterattack with Chine Blades. So the extra
Would I
attack.
be able to counterattack as well? So you got
Yeah.
3 ones
I
against
think
me?
you had a different family. You had the sneaky one.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Yeah, never mind. What is my... I can't even remember what my things are for that. Let me go find out.
Yeah, your bonus was the sneakiness. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes.
Cool. Blackcoats are falling around you. Some of them have had their head exploded by close combat weapons. Some of them are being sheared in part. But there are vampires going down too. But Dennis, you take a few slashes to the chest as you start hammering into these guys with your chains. A few
And
of them.
I do 17 extra damage per hit now as well, right?
Yeah. So you're exploding these guys. You're just cleaving through them as you go into them. I would say that's at least 4 felled as you just go in there and just start chopping up left, right, and centre. We have Filberto next.
I'm going to call to Swan and say we need artillery on this quadrant, in this sector.
Okay.
I'm going to call danger close.
Okay.
And I want them to blast the absolute crap out of this building.
Okay, yeah. Almost as soon as you do that, it's almost like they were waiting. As soon as you do that, you can hear the artillery smashing into this beautiful building, just hammering all the way into it. And you can actually hear a few of the columns outside give way and come smashing down into the street. So,
And I'll call that good shot.
Okay.
And then I guess pull out a grenade.
Yeah.
Since they seem to be the most effective.
Yeah. You can chuck it. Strength and perception. Just chuck it.
Okay, my really high stats.
A wrong choice was made.
Well, one of them goes into the air and explodes, and takes out a couple of vampires. But beyond that, The others just like go careening, bouncing off a wall and harmlessly.
I thought I'd
explode
throw
elsewhere.
one. I would only throw the one.
Oh,
of
you're only
those.
throwing the one? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Then. Yeah. So a couple of vampires are dead by the absolute cacophony of sunlight that is spreading out. They are going down, but so are the. So you are nearly the last Blackcoats assaulting this place. That's how many vampires were here.
Damn.
So, they are winning the overall battle, but it does seem like you guys are going to be tipping the balance here. It does seem like so.
And I'm sure the artillery sat just outside.
Yes, the artillery is doing a thing. But the vampires are pulling back up the stairs. Are you guys chasing them? There's nowhere else really to go. But are you guys chasing them upstairs?
Yeah. Was I going to get a chance to swing at them before they got
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I just wanted to explain the context of what's going on.
Yeah. So I think I'm just going to unload the rest of this Gatling gun
as they're retreating. Yeah.
Yeah. And let me do that.
Do I get my standard attacks as well?
Yes.
Yeah, and this is gonna include for the damage. This include the rage field, and so that adds 16 damage. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes.
Okay. So yeah,
and
many. I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the second attack.
Okay. So at least 7. I'm going to say 7. Yeah, 7 more vampires are clubbed to the ground and are smashed into pulp as Dennis goes chasing a few of them up the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So as you chase them up the stairs, now you hammer a few off their feet. You kill at least 5. You know, as they're getting away from you, just by raking through their back with these chain blades. Would you like to chase them all the way up the stairs, or would you like to stay where you are?
No.
Okay.
No, I'd probably run into some sort of position behind cover and would try to feed on some of the dead Blackcoats.
Okay.
We're best off blasting them with artillery at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the redcoats.
Yeah.
But we could also take a few grenades and chuck them inside the building.
So,
yeah,
a surge of vampires comes down the stairs, with Arthak with them too. But he looks pretty reluctant, so he's just standing at the top of the stairs with a rifle, just like aiming it down into everybody. And also, Autumn is there, but he has the orb in his hands, and he looks like he doesn't want to do whatever he's doing. He's just like trying to stop himself. So I'm going to see if he can resist what's going on. 7d6. He's actually not. He's not that weak in terms of his mind. Okay, not good enough, but okay. So let's see how. Let's see what he does next.
He tried his best.
See what he does next. 6d6. Oh, okay, and d3 just to see which one this goes towards. Okay, so Dennis, this thing has a big hard-on for you. He throws this orb through the air, and you're furthest up the stairs because you were slicing. You didn't chase them, but you were slicing and dicing. It falls onto your chest and bounces off, deals you 1 damage as it just bounces off. But it also clamps into your hand. Like literally like a magnet, right into your hand. And
can I try to cut off my hand?
You can try. Go ahead and do your devil blooded to try and.
But then you're one-handed for the rest.
Don't worry. In this setting, we have robot hands, and this is the better alternative.
Yeah, but aren't you a mage? Aren't you? Doesn't that preclude you from ever having devil
He
blood?
will lose his access to devil-blooded abilities.
Yeah.
If he gets mechanical attachments.
Well,
by attack.
I didn't have any magic anyway, but I guess.
You hadn't gotten there yet.
So go for it and roll your devil blooded.
Mind and devil blood?
Mm-hmm.
Truly tragic.
Ooh.
1,
2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, there's ones.
There is 2 ones, yeah, but
If this
3.
does this count as an attack?
it's still double what you got, unfortunately.
But
So
does it count as an attack?
no.
Sadly.
So she pulls you away from the fight, and she starts digging into your mind just to try and see whether she can actually forcibly, completely take over your body forever. Like that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to push your consciousness into oblivion. Now, the fight continues. The vampires are now on to you guys. So, it's your guys' turn. But yeah, you guys go first. But this all happens at the same time, of course. So, there are a lot of vampires there. So, what would you like to do?
I'm calling for another artillery barrage.
They've never stopped.
Fair enough. I'm going to direct one. I'm going to direct one in a particular direction, ideally to where we just.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, all danger close. I just want to blast that position as much as we can.
So it's going to be. Okay. So this might harm the structure of the building.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the point.
Okay, cool. Go for it. So you're going to call that in.
Yeah.
I will let you give up your turn to make this extremely accurate.
Yeah.
Okay. Where would you want them to position these strikes? If in an ideal world, where would they hit?
Basically, anywhere that's a load-bearing column that will bring the entire roof down.
Okay.
Basically, ideally, I'd like the building to pancake like a deck of cards.
Okay, cool.
So the roof crushes every floor below it. So it brings it basically down to the ground entirely.
Okay, that can happen, but I'm going to let Sangern do something first. So what would you like to do, Sangern, before?
I can see the whole situation with the orb, right?
Yeah.
So, Sangern's plan, because I think Dennis has described what this orb is, right? Is to take a sunlight grenade and shove it into the orb, and then cover him and Dennis as best he can with the coats, and let that grenade go off.
Okay, cool. That is going to take some really good rolls. First of all, I need you to kill at least 5 vampires that are between you and him. That's the first thing.
That will be me using my K-Knight Gunblade and just...
Maybe use your vampire power for this one, the one with mine, so you get extra...
I'm gonna stoke the blood.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my main stat with with my Devil Blooded, right?
Yep. And the artillery will be coming in after this. It all happens.
And I need 3 successes, which I got 3 6s, and then another 6 and a 5.
Okay.
And a 4. So that's definitely Devil Blooded has been added, and I'm going to use my my Mark of the Beast special roll to double the effects of the stoking the blood. So I'm going to add 6 dice to this.
So for every 2 successes, a vampire will go down. You need 5.
Okay, I'm going to be attacking with my Gunblade, and I'm going to use like 3. I'm going to use a bunch of those rounds on it. I think I'm going to use like 4 of them. Just going to add a bunch of damage. So let me count my dice real quick. So that's 15 plus 4 plus 2 for the 2 plus 9 plus 6 for this Mark of the Beast, plus 4 for the Gunblade. So that's 19 plus 2 that you add when you're doing an attack. That's 21 plus 2 for Giant. That's 23.
Yep. All right.
Oh my god. That is more than enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
You just firing and rage filled, just hurling yourself at these things and yelling at the top of your lungs. You just like take down several vampires, not even 5, just 2 or 3 more off the bat of this, just swinging away and cleaving them in 2 until you get to him. Now, you're being repulsed by a very clear energy coming off of the... You're sort of thinking maybe you weren't the best person to do this because you're a vampire and she has influence over them. But, like, she's pushing you back. So you now have to roll a Devil Blood to get through what she's trying to... She's not going to use... She can't use all of her strength on you. She's only got 22 dice, and I've got to decide where they go because she's still trying to, take over Dennis's body, and she can't stop
And
doing
I
that.
stoke the blood again? Or no, stoking the blood lasts for
Yeah,
the
it does.
turn,
Yeah,
right?
it lasts for the encounter. Yeah. So.
Okay. So, mind, devil blood, and
Yep.
stoking the blood.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've already stoked the blood, but the mind and devil
Yeah,
blood.
and the bonus from stoking the
Yeah.
blood. That's what I meant.
Will you actually overpower her in devil blood? That'll be such a.
Oh my god!
1,
Oh.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dice.
I'm gonna have to do 15 d6. She's gonna have to siphon off a lot of power to try and stop you. She feels this happening. So how many do you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 1,
Ooh.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay.
She got 3 1s and I got none.
She got 3
Yeah,
1s.
the ones do something.
I am going to allow you to re-roll. We're going to have to go again.
Oh god.
So you go ahead and roll your 10.
It's not gonna be this good.
That's not going to be as good,
1,
of course.
2,
1,
3
3.
this time. And 1, 2. Yeah, so she beat you the second time. But not by a lot, looking at that.
Yeah,
so,
5.
So, and 2 1s. So, but you got 1 1 as well. So she holds you off. At this point,
Yeah, she got
Dennis,
So, I mean,
Dennis. You can see outside the mortars have been rolled up to the edge of the street. And you can see that they're aiming inside the building.
Oh.
And they may bury the building, but they're not going to kill this thing. I'm going to give you an action. What would you like to do? You can't get this thing out of your hand, so what would you like to do?
Action. Well, would I notice that it's struggled in the mental battle with Sanger?
Yes, you know she's got the better of him, and so he's like frozen in place and can't quite get to you.
Yeah, but would I
look
notice that her energy is somewhat drained?
So her energy is somewhat drained, yes.
Okay, so first I would stoke my blood.
Mm-hmm.
To see if I get something. Okay, that's 3 successes.
Yeah.
Should be good.
Yeah, you're good, yeah.
So, with that I can try to overpower her to get her off me.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And she only gets
7 dice.
7 dice. So you got 9?
Yeah.
She can't do it.
Let's see. Well, yeah, if she gets all 6s, then she's gonna do it. But let's see. No.
Rip.
So
3 successes and 3 ones.
I'm gonna let you do. You can get this thing off of your hand. But if you throw it anywhere near, if it goes anywhere near a vampire, she's gonna be still alive.
Can I try to throw it directly into the air on hopes? Can I try to throw it into an artillery shell as it's flying?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my.
Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's roll. Roll like you're throwing a grenade. This is gonna have to be a pretty good roll though.
He's got stoking the blood active,
You
yeah?
got stoking the
Yeah,
blood
I know.
active. You got all those extra dice.
Can I see what you're attempting to do?
I tell you what. Now that the spell has been broken somewhat, I'm gonna let everybody lend you some dice. So if you would like to stoke the blood, Sangern, and lend him your stoke the blood dice, you can do that. You can power him up. And if you would, and Filberto, if you would like to give exact coordinates of where you want this next strike, I will let you do that as well, and you will add some dice
sure.
to the artillery strike.
I will aim. Well, actually, I will draw my railgun and I will aim, and I will also be
you're
relaying
not
coordinates.
supercharged railgun?
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, you're
I'll
aiming.
relay coordinates while aiming.
Okay, cool. So, Dennis, go ahead and throw.
Do I add 6 dice or 3 dice from Sanger?
6.
Okay.
Oh man, that is so many dice, dude.
Well, let's hope I get lucky.
Because you got your dice as well.
It's a
Yeah.
roll. There you go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no. 5, 6 only.
6. I'm gonna let you re-roll, but only one. Only one re-roll. That was just about good enough for a re-roll. Holy shit.
That's a
Okay.
lot of
1, 2,
six.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, wait, 1,
Okay.
6, 7, 8, 9. 9.
Okay, so that is a you throw this thing desperately. It doesn't go very far though. So the artillery strike hammers into the building and everything starts falling down. But Filberto, you get that shot.
Yeah.
So the artillery
So
strike
what-
comes in, but you fire the gun just as the
Yeah.
artillery strike is coming in. You're aiming for the orb, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So go ahead, roll a full combat round of shooting against this thing. Well, one shot mainly. One shot.
Okay. My 9d6. I think it.
Don't forget
yeah,
the
it was-
2 extras for the attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you have some gun skill as well?
Yeah, I do. 1 second. That is also another 5 on top.
So go
Yeah.
roll another 5.
Isn't your mind 9?
Yeah,
oh yeah,
9
11.
mind.
Okay.
One.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, roll again. Roll again. See if we can break the deadlock.
Come on, guys. There it is.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
that's
There it is.
finally something.
So-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So let me just say, you were one away from not getting a reroll there, and this orb just flying out of the fucking. Out, you like throw the orb out of harm's way.
Sangren accidentally catches it. It's super awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or worse, I catch it and then in reality just.
It's
Just
vampires.
as it's about to leave the room, as in hurled out of the vestibule there, this shot from the rail gun hammers straight through it, and it explodes, smashing apart buildings and at least a little bit of the floor too. You hear this wailing scream that echoes into the night sky. The newly night sky, as rain starts to fall down. You guys are all knocked unconscious by the explosion. But as you come to, a few seconds later, you're looking up and you can actually see like the day is coming back, and the rain is sort of going away, and you are now sitting in the smoking ruin of what used to be the sovereignial palace at the center of New Corinth. The Blackcoats what's left of them are coming in and sifting through the debris. A few of the vampires that are left, 7 or 8 of them, are going mad and clawing at their own eyes. And you can hear the click-clack of Swan, coming forwards. And of his cane hitting the floor. And he says, well, that was an interesting summer. And that's where we'll leave the. That's where we'll leave the session.
Oh, that is just. Oh, that's a good way to end.
Yeah.
No, that's why at the
understatement of the
beginning of the
century.
at the beginning of the next season, we can start off with somebody saying, "I know what you did last summer."
I think at the beginning of the next season we're gonna have the first scene will probably be Sangern with Arthak tied to a chair because he's being interrogated. So it'll be like one of those a really dark beginning of like, okay, like,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
why did you do that? But yeah, I will sort out. New rules will be here for the next season. So
Alright.
by the time we do next season, there'll be new rules. So you'll be making your characters up to a certain point. We'll probably do it a few years down the road. Because Arthak's going to be in prison for a long time. And he's not going to be doing very much. So we will come back and do like a few years down the road, and it'll be, finding what the fuck's going on. But I've taken up enough of your time. It's 2.5 hours now. So thank you very much for playing, and I will see you in the next season.
Alright.
Cheers, guys.
Right, it's all.
See you.